reason why we don't want the Israelis to be the hegemon in the Middle East, guys, is because we can't trust them. Because they've already betrayed us when they need us. What do you think is going to happen when they don't need us? They were involved in the assassination of a U.S. president, the bombing of a U.S. spy ship, 9/11, stealing secrets from us with Jonathan Pollard, stealing a nuclear weapon. This is when they need us. What do you think is going to happen when they don't need us?
Today I'm going to talk to you about the 8 possible consequences of how this war could end, from worst case scenario to best case scenario. Regime change versus regime collapse. What's the difference? So regime change is you depose existing government of another country and replace it with new leadership. So, for instance, back in the days, Mossadegh was the leader in Iran. He decided to nationalize all the oil. It affected all the oil to other countries around the world. BP was in there. They came in and said, no, we're not going to be doing this. Let's bring the Shah of Iran. Mohammad Reza Shah Pahlavi shows up in 1953.
Very important that you guys understand this. So Mossadegh, right, nationalized the oil. That basically means that the government took control of it so that private institutions wouldn't profit off of the nation's resource. And a lot of the times when you nationalize the oil, you make yourself a target for stronger, more military powerfully countries. So this obviously put Mossadegh in the hit list of the British. We're allies with the British and Israel. Being a new country in the region, they needed allies in the region because nobody wanted them there. So Israel also had a vested interest as well. So Mossadegh, right, nationalized the oil. Brits said, hell no, we want access to that oil. So they overthrew them. We're allies with the Brits. We have access to the oil as well. We're involved. And then the Israelis had a vested interest because the Israelis needed an ally in the area. Iran was the first Muslim majority country to recognize Israel as a country, guys, after the Shah took over when Mossadegh was overthrown during Operation Ajax. It's very important for you guys to understand that this distrust and dislike of the United States has been going on for a very long time because we've been involved in intervening in their political structure since the fucking 1950s.
Yeah, 1953.
That's regime change. Iran, for the most part, in the Middle East becomes peaceful for the next 26 years. But
Debatable. There were a bunch of conflicts going on at the time in the Middle East. Obviously, we have the Yom Kippur War, the 6-Day War. You have all
the Arab-Israeli conflicts. You have Israel-Palestine. You have all of this tension that the West is trying so hard to remedy, as well as the fact that there were pockets of power in Iran at the time during the Shah regime that were trying to overthrow him too. So there was some discontent from the public of Iran with the Shah regime and the prior one, and so those started to culminate during Ajax and following the Islamic Revolution in '79. But I'm sure he's going to explain that.
And it's not. People talk about how the Shah was, they talk about the Islamic regime being super evil and killing people, which is true. But make no mistake about it, the Shah also had a brutal internal police force. What's their fucking name? Okay, there we go. Savak. There we go. These guys would go out and literally just kill dissenters. This was their job. Here they are right here. These guys were fucking brutal, dude. Okay? So nobody has clean hands in this situation.
Is what happened with rapid breakdown of a government where leaders lose the ability to control the state leads to power structures falling apart. In 1979 in Iran, that was a regime collapse. Mohammad Reza Shah Pahlavi, monarchy, he's running the country, boom, replace him with Khomeini, Islamic Revolutionary Guard. That's a complete collapse. So the first one is a change, the other one is a collapse. Now let's continue. Regime change, planning, strategic. Who drives it? Foreign governments, coups. Cause, deliberate removal. That's what they did. Hey, let's get this guy out of here. That's a regime change.
Well, but why?
Yeah,
Israel needed Saddam Hussein out of there.
Strategically stepping over the key pieces of context that lead you to the conclusion.
Super important. Important. Why did that regime change happen, bro? Like, it happened because the Israelis needed Saddam out. Netanyahu flew all the way to the United States, testified under oath. I'll never forget infamous words. If you take out Saddam, you're going to have positive reverberations all across the region.
Soviet Union, what happened back in the day? Say, Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall, or communism. We cannot have this communism thing be a massive thing that people accept. We got to get rid of this. They did. Iran Revolution, we talked about. The planning, super chaotic. So if we're going through the collapse, super chaotic, citizens, economy, military defection hasn't happened to Iran fully yet. The citizens, yes, but military turning against the government saying, listen, I can't support you anymore. And then obviously the internal breakdown. That's Iran, by the way, Venezuela. What just happened with Venezuela, Maduro? It's somewhat-ish a regime change, even though his VP is still there. It is an ish regime change. But let's continue. When you look at this, regime change methods. Number 1 is direct military action. Number 2, covert operations, secretly funding, like not necessarily a proxy, but secretly funding, training, or inciting opposition in country. And
And it's important that you guys understand this is the main methodology that's utilized nowadays, especially after World War II. Okay? The world learned that big world wars is just not beneficial and the casualties are way too high. Yep. So covert operations are the best way to go because it creates what's called plausible deniability. And plausible deniability is the name of the game when it comes to modern warfare. You utilize intelligence agencies where you have that level of cover, and then you also utilize proxies. Okay, yep. We do it. Iran was doing it. Multiple countries do it all the time, especially big powers that have nuclear capabilities. They don't want to get into a situation where they're fighting another world power that has nuclear weapons. So what ends up happening is they use proxies to effectuate what they want.
A good example of that is the Bay of Pigs invasion, where the United States actually hired 1,500 Cuban exiles trained by the CIA to launch some sort of coup d'etat revolution in Cuba. It failed miserably. They were caught. Yeah, they were caught. But JFK came out and denied any sort of affiliation with it or kind of brushed it off to the side and put it under the rug. So this is an effective way of
he didn't give them the air support. He didn't give them the air support, and that made them really pissed off. That actually led to, that was a component of him getting killed, was because he didn't give them the air support that they wanted, because he needed that plausible deniability. If he gave them the air support, it would be obvious there was American intervention.
Exactly.
Rarely works, but we use that card every once in a while. Why does U.S. do regime change? One, containment, domino theory. Example, Cold War, enemy communism. Communism, if it would have spread and that ideology that was spreading would have won, it would have been bad for everybody. It would say, well, you know, we need to kind of go through the system. They had to put a stop to it. I believe that was a right move. Number two, protecting economic interests, ex-Panama, 1989. Number three, preemptive strikes, Bush Doctrine. Preventing terrorism, example, the Great War.
All right. Yeah, that's just where the answer is.
You know, you don't understand. They have weapons of mass destruction.
It's fine. He's describing what they, you know what I mean, what they used as the excuse. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's fine. Right now he's defining it. I'm going to be charitable here. He's defining it, right? Of what it is. So at least what we know what the war on terror really was, right? It was about removing Israel's enemies, but it's fine. Let's keep going.
We had weapons of mass destruction. That is something that a lot of military guys that went to fight over that lost their buddies like, wait a minute, you will never get me on this ever again, which makes sense. And then number four, liberal interventionism, stop human rights violation. It's not fair what you're doing to people, and that's a whole different approach. Now,
and here's the other thing, liberal interventionism, that is a ruse that's typically used to justify some other strategic reason.
Yeah.
For example, I'll give you, we have one right now. Trump said, if you go ahead and you execute those guys, we're going to invade, we're going to attack you. Right? You think Trump gives a fuck about Iranians getting hung? No, he never did. If he did give a fuck about Iranians, he wouldn't put these crippling sanctions. But they will use the ruse of humanitarian intervention to justify a strategic intervention.
Number one, coercive actions using CIA for
This is Geopolitics 101, guys.
Psychological warfare, which, by the way, it's happening right now in a big way. Funding opposition groups, you know, orchestrating.
We've done this all the time, funding opposition groups. We're the kings of funding opposition groups. We did it with the Mujahideen and Osama bin Laden against the Soviets. We did it in the Iran-Contra. We did it against, with funding what was going on in South America. We are the kings of funding. Yeah, we did it in Syria. We did it with Ahmed al-Shara literally just now. Yep. Trump let it slip and said, I put Ahmed al-Shara in power. Like, come on, bro.
He's a strong guy. He's young. He's handsome. I like him. He's got a rough past, but I think Syria's got a good future. I think they got a good guy now. So.
Military,
like you didn't fund him. Okay, whatever.
Yeah, he literally said, I basically put him in.
Yeah,
he said it.
Yeah, Trump slips up a lot. Iran, he's getting old.
Go ahead, sorry. Yeah, I could imagine. The CIA niggas got to be fucking punching the air in the back, though.
When Trump is giving his briefings on the Air Force One, there are so many instances where Trump says something and you go, did he just say that? It's like, he was not supposed to say that. Like, Trump, his cognitive decline is very apparent these days. Like, he's losing it. I know he's having talks about, like, hey, Mr. President, you can't say that.
Here we go. I got it.
Essentially put there. So I don't want to spend a lot of time, but all I can say is that the president who I essentially put there, so I don't want to spend a lot of time, but all I can say is that the president of Syria, who I essentially put there.
Like, come on, bro. And guys, the reason why that's big is you might think, okay, what's the big deal? He put a president into place. Like the United States does that all the time. Ahmed al-Shara, formerly known as Mohammed al-Jawlani, was a terrorist wanted by several international communities, as well as I think the CIA had a bounty on his head, or the FBI had a bounty on his head of millions of dollars. This guy worked with Al-Qaeda, Al-Nusra, which is the Al-Qaeda front in northern Syria. This guy worked or his group then graduated to become Hayat Tahrir al-Sham. He graduated to several different names to try and covertly walk away from the idea of him being like this mujahid, jihadist kind of terrorist. And he fought in the Iraq war against Americans. Now, whether you want to say he was a terrorist or not, I suppose if somebody's Muslim, they'll say, yeah, but
guarantee he killed them.
There is no doubt this guy was like an adversary, quote unquote, for the United States. And the fact that Donald Trump said, well, you know, we put him in power says a lot about what we do in Syria. That kind of vindicates everybody who speculated that we funded ISIS and we funded all these other militant groups. What do you mean we put Ahmad al-Shara in power? That vindicates everybody who says Obama and Clinton's were actually giving ISIS money in 2015.
Did the United States
Here, let's turn this up for you guys.
bomb a girls' elementary school in southern Iran on the first day of the war and kill 175 people?
Based on what I've seen, that was done by Iran.
Yo, look at Hexeth. Yo, look at
Hexeth is like, Hexeth is in the back like, what are you saying? What are you saying? Stop saying that. What are you saying? That was our missile. All the intelligence assets know that was our missile. What are you doing?
Yeah.
He's stressed, bro. Let me turn this up for you guys.
Yeah. No, rewind that shit, bro. As soon as that, because he's looking down. As soon as they ask about the school, that nigga looks up. And even look at Wickoff.
Did the United States bomb a girls' elementary school in southern Iran on the first day of the war and kill 175 people?
Based on what I've seen, that was done by Iran.
What do you mean, in my opinion? What does that mean? In my opinion, I don't think we did it. What? You either did or you did it. There's no opinion there. Let it keep playing.
Is that true, Mr. Hexeth? It was Iran who did that?
We're certainly investigating.
We're certainly investigating. Fuck. Trump's mouth is reckless. The guy is getting way too old, bro. The cognitive dissonance has taken full effect. Like, he is completely losing his marbles. You could he's getting to be 79 now, 80. So
Yo, as soon as they asked about the school, this nigga Hexeth looked up immediately. I was looking at Trump like glaring at him, dude, as he's answering the question. And even Wickoff is in the back like, oh,
yeah.
Fuck.
And then look what Hexeth said.
Hexeth? It was Iran who did that?
We're certainly investigating.
Still investigating.
But the only side that targets civilians is Iran.
We think it was done. We think it was done by Iran. Because they're very inaccurate, as you know, with their munitions. They have no accuracy
Unfortunately, their munitions are actually pretty accurate
whatsoever. It was done by Iran.
Yeah. So
Okay, bro. We now confirmed that it was Tomahawk missiles, and the only people that have those pretty much are the U.S.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and Tomahawk missiles are very fucking accurate. So that means that they put that school in the fucking coordinates, bro.
Yep.
It's a wrap. Let's get back to the PBD thing.
That's that. Number two, conventional warfare, direct invasion, boots on the ground, Panama, Iraq. We're trying to avoid that with Iran, although we've had multiple leaders on Trump's administration that have said we have to keep all the options out there. We may need to use it. We don't know yet, right? But he doesn't want to use it. You've heard that. Okay, number three, proxy warfare. Army training local insurgent groups to destabilize the government in Nicaragua in the 1980s. And some of the people right now are saying, well, wait a minute, the Kurds, what they're doing, isn't that kind of what you're doing? Are we giving them weapons? And they said, listen, we're not giving them weapons. Israel may, but we're not giving them weapons. So some of that. And then number four is economic coercion, right? Sanctions, trade embargoes intended to incite domestic unrest, which we have done to Iran for a long time. But this alone doesn't fully work all the time for regime change. So question becomes, has it ever worked? How often does it fail? Because you'll hear people say it never works at all.
Just as a quick note, sanctions are becoming less and less effective as time progresses, with the United States weaponizing them against several countries. We see that with Russia and others. So that's something to keep in mind as well.
With the rise of BRICS and other financial instruments, people
Rare
are,
earth.
countries in rare, exactly. Countries are figuring out ways to get around the chokehold, the financial chokehold that the United States has across the world. This is why, people are getting away from the dollar. Right? Because people understand effectively that if you piss the United States off, they can cripple you financially. So there's been alternative methodologies to get around sanctions. The reason why we don't want the Israelis to be the hegemon in the Middle East, guys, because we can't trust them. Because they've already betrayed us when they need us. What do you think is going to happen when they don't need us? They were involved in the assassination of a U.S. president, the bombing of a U.S. spy ship, 9/11, stealing secrets from us with Jonathan Pollard, stealing a nuclear weapon. They've done so many fucking bullshit things to us and betrayed us. They sell our secrets to the Chinese and to the Russians. This is when they need us. What do you think is going to happen when they don't need us?
Whether you know it or not, everyone falls in one of these handful of camps that's out there. Let me explain to you what this camp is. First camp.
Okay, interesting.
Is Israel First Hawks. I don't care what happens. We have to have
I wonder where Patrick puts himself in this category.
Israel's back no matter what. We've got to protect.
I want to see where he puts himself in this category, man.
If they're doing this, we got to go.
Where do you fall?
That's the Israel Hall. Number 2 is a Trump royalist. Hey, I think this is the right guy. I voted for this guy. I support this guy. I think he's doing the right thing. I support his decision. And I'm excited about what's going to be happening. I'm a little bit uncertain. I'm a little worried, but I'm supporting him. Number 3 is the establishment media. You know, the main Fox, CNN, MSNBC. They're kind of like, well, Khamenei's a bad guy. Well, he kind of had to go. But Mark Kelly, well, I don't know. I'm glad he was taken out. But, you know, they're supportive, but they're still kind of like, what happened to the congressional that need to go through Congress? A little bit of that. Then you have the America First. I can't believe you're doing this. This is crazy. Israel owns U.S. You know, it's a puppet, you know.
Yeah, that's pretty much us.
Bibi's running everything. I'm voting Democrat moving forward.
Okay, I know about that.
That's 100% a stab at Nick. 1 million.
Yeah. I don't think I'm going to go vote Democrat, but we're definitely extremely Israel critical over here.
And that's the America First. Some of the people there that are supporting that. And then you're going to have a radical left, the lunatics. You know how they are.
And the reason why I just can't vote Democrat is because, like, bro, like I hate the female first agenda, right? And the wokeness and the minority first agenda. Like that shit pisses me off so much.
Complete. There's nothing he can do right. That's the radical left. And on the Iran side, it's the majority. 80+% of Iranians are sick and tired of having a country being ran by a supreme leader.
Bruh.
Leave me alone. Let me live my life. It's a different world we're living in today with social media where you can no longer hide. No matter how many times you're trying to cancel the internet so we can't see what's going on with the world. We're sick of the way you've brainwashed us and manipulated our parents for decades. It's done. Get out the way. Then the small percentage that says, I don't know if I want, I don't know if I want to get to this one. I don't know about, and that's the part. Those are the camps. You pick and choose.
Okay. Are a lot of people unhappy with the government of Iran? Yes, absolutely. A lot of them are. But they are not unhappy with the government to the point that they are willing to back the United States and Israel. And that's extremely important here, which is why you're not getting this uprising that the Trump administration was hoping for.
Very few people in Iran would agree to having an Israeli U.S.-backed leader run their country. That is a greater evil than that of the current Ayatollah or IRGC regime.
Yes.
And by the way, the whole reason why that government struggles to please the people is because of the sanctions that we imposed on them for the benefit of the Israelis.
That 80% that he's talking about, they might be unhappy with the government, but not to the level that they're going to overthrow said government for the West.
This one here got very big, and it is what could happen. 8 different scenarios of what could happen.
And you can make the argument, now that his son is in play, now they're going to approve the government more.
Potentially, yeah, because now they're charged up. Now they're all facing a common enemy. In attacking them and killing their leader, you did unite them. Like you said, if Trump got killed or if Biden got killed, regardless of your politics, that would cause some unity across the United States. Aside from the far radical leftists, a lot of people would go, hey, our leader just got killed by a foreign government. There's a bigger enemy
and the
here.
son is a hardliner. The son is far more of a hardliner than the dad is.
He seems to be more
The son
extreme.
might repeal the fatwa with the nuclear weapons. All these Gulf states, bro, they play nice with Israel because they understand that they have to play nice with Israel diplomatically. But bro, none of these fucking countries like Israel. Nobody likes Israel in the region at all.
If the Abraham Accords were tarnished and Israel no longer had to be respected and the United States did not guarantee their security, Israel would probably not exist, or there'd be a full-on nuclear war because every single neighboring country would attack them.
That's a fact. And that's their biggest fear, by the way, a multi-front war. This is precisely why, strategically speaking, we give money to Jordan and Egypt to protect their east and to protect their south.
But the reality of it is, this is a lot nastier than anybody can tell you behind.
Yeah, this is really bad foreign policy analysis, man.
Yeah.
But,
closed doors.
And it's kind of a nothing burger. He didn't say anything here. He just like gave an overview of like
Again, it's like all wishful thinking, fairy tale, typical secular Iranian like analysis. Again, bro, just don't listen to anybody who has a vested interest in Iran actually becoming this like prosperous secular country, because they're going to give you wish-washy bullshit like this. One day I'm hoping it's a better numbers game, and then tomorrow we're going to see if Iran is going to have a better relationship with China. And what does that mean for the United States? That means less oil money. You're saying nothing. It's like a word salad of this bullshit. No, Israel's going to have complete autonomy over the region, and we're cooked. That's it. Black and white, bro.
Yeah, this video is a nothing burger, bro. This video is a nothing burger, and like the analysis on the Gulf is just so wrong. The best thing that the Iranians could have done was shut down the Strait of Hormuz and attack the Gulf states. That's actually why they have so much leverage. You have to create so much pain to America's allies that they tell America you have to stop.